Lesson 12-5, Find the original number. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to find the original number when a percent of it is known. Make sure you have your pencil and paper ready so that way you can work right along with me today. Here are the two different formulas that we'll be using today. The first one is P equals R times B, which would be the percentage equals the rate times base. And then the other one will be using a proportion, which is the part over whole equals the part over whole. Make sure you have these written down so that we can refer to them throughout today's lesson. For the first example, we know that 45% of people at the bowling alley pay for the bowling league. There's a total of 9 bowling league players. So how many people are in the bowling alley? So to find out how many people, the original number or base, we would write and solve an equation or proportion. So our question is then 45% of what number is 9? That's our question. So we would use one of the two formulas. The first way would be to write and solve an equation. So we have 45% of B, which will be the total group of people, equals 9. So we would multiply 0.45, because that's 45% times B equals 9. Now we need to divide both sides by 40.45. So now B is all by itself, and B would equal 20. So 45% of 20 equals 9. So there's 20 people in the bowling alley. The other way to do that would be to set it up as a proportion, which would be 45% out of 100 equals 9 out of, how much is that whole group? We don't know. So we'll make that a B. That's our base, the group that we don't know. So then we just cross multiply. I have 45B equals 9 times the 100 equals 900. And then I divide both sides by 45. So B equals, and divide this by 45. 900 divided by 45 equals 20. So that's the two different ways that you can figure out how to find the original number when you're given a percentage of a group. This question says 25% of Mario's savings is in a box. The box has $45 in it. How much has Mario saved in all? So we're going to let S stand for the savings. So we have 25% of S, which is the total savings, equals $45. So we can put 25% into a fraction, and that would equal 1/4 of S equals $45. Remember, when we see the word of, that means multiply. So now I need to get this S all by itself, so I'm going to multiply it by 4/1. And that gives S all by itself because these cancel out. And then I 45 times 4/1. So S equals $180. So the total amount that Mario has saved would be $180. Okay, I want you to try this one on your own. It says, if Mike's savings of $268.80 is 42% of his savings goal, what amount of money does Mike want to save? I want you to go ahead and write that out either solving it as a proportion or as an equation, and then come back and check to see if you get the same answer as I do. Alright, I'm going to solve it using an equation, but just check to see if your answer came out the same as mine. So I would say 42%, I'll make that a decimal, times S equals $268.80. Then I divide both sides by 0.42. S is by itself. Divide this side by 0.42. And when I divide that out, I get $640 is how much Mike is wanting to save. Here's the last one I want you to try on your own. 65% of x is 650. Come back and check your work against mine. Alright, so I have 60.65 x equals 650. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 0.65. Cross that out, and x is by itself. Divided by 0.65. And that goes into there 1,000 times. So it would be 65% of 1,000 is 650. Make sure you rewatch any part of today's lesson before heading off to do today's assignment.